Welcome to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan, and today it is a great pleasure to welcome David Donnelly, partner, executive recruiter with Gecko Hospitality to the show. David started his career in hospitality at the age of 15, working in a restaurant as a porter and a dishwasher. Another success story of a lifetime career in our industry. David had a very good manager when he first started and gave him an important lesson of hard work, integrity, and doing the job right the first time. David has carried this mantra with him throughout his career, and he has worked at some of the finest restaurants, hotels, resorts, and country clubs in the United States. As a partner and executive recruiter with Gecko Hospitality, David is now applying the well-rounded experience with hospitality companies to fill leadership roles with candidates that will have a positive impact. Welcome to the show, David. How are you, your team, and your family?
Hey, Craig, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. We are doing great here in Southern California, and looking forward to being with you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. David, would you tell us a little bit about Gecko Hospitality, please?
Sure. Gecko Hospitality was started, in fact, we're in our 20th anniversary, 20 years ago by Robert Kurzak, who is our president and founder. We are based in Florida, and we have over 40 partners and 100 recruiters throughout the United States, covering each state. Each partner is dedicated to a territory where they get to know that territory very well and try and help our clients as best as possible.
I love it. So, I think you guys are going to be busy for at least the next 24 months. We've certainly got an employment issue ahead of us, in the hospitality and restaurant sectors in particular, for a lot of various reasons. And we don't really need to flog that horse anymore. I think everybody else has done a pretty good job on that personally. So what's the current state of hospitality recruitment in California and the nation, please?
Well, I can tell you that I haven't been this busy ever. And a lot of my partners are feeling the same way. It took a while for it to catch up here in California. My partner in Florida has been absolutely busy for the last probably 6 months. And now that California has been opening up a little bit, we've been seeing companies that don't normally utilize third-party recruiters reach out to us because they've exhausted all of their resources at this point. So I think right now it's still a candidates market for sure.
I think it is as well. And I think right now, if you're, and let's look at some global companies. Let's look at Ambridge, let's look at, national companies, such as Prism, local Western region, like 24/7 hotels. If you're not using a recruiter right now, David's the first recruiter we've gotten on the show. We've been trying to get, David on the show for a while, and somebody else from his sector, but they're all too busy. So we had a small window right here, so we got David on board. But I think you're doing your company a disservice if you're not using a recruiter at this point. The traditional ways of running an ad or going to a college or university that has a hotel program just isn't going to be what happens. So what are some of the things, without divulging your secret sauce, that you're doing to get, these recruiters in front of companies?
Well, I'll tell you, Craig, a lot of it is relationship based. And I've probably been talking with candidates just as far as networking goes for several years. And a lot of these people are in my database. A lot of them I keep in touch with as much as I can. I try to advise people on, even if if I'm not being used by a client, I still advise the candidates as well as I can on jobs and help them, polish up their resume and things like that. but it's good old fashioned headhunting, really. We're able to go some places where companies can't. The Ambridges of the world don't want to be stealing from, like you said, the Prisms. It just doesn't. It's kind of like gives this bad blood type of thing between companies. So we're able to go in and actually talk to people in the company kind of being not involved, so to speak.
There you go. Would you talk about retention and company culture? Because I think there's some big changes going on there right now.
Yeah, it's funny, growing up in the hospitality industry, many times when I began a new job, it was like, here's your keys, here's your pager. I have an open door policy. Come and see me if you need anything. There wasn't a whole lot of onboarding and training. And so I think, and that's been changing over the years, but I still think it's a big issue that when you hire a candidate, that everything looks great all the way up until you get hired. And then all of a sudden there's nobody around to help you. So I think the company culture, instead of it being a tagline, actually needs to be something that's driven by the upper management and brought down all the way through to the bottom ranks of the staff. Everybody believes in it, and it is the culture, not just a tagline.
I agree with you, and we've got some companies out there that are really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Green and his team over at Chesapeake, for example,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're absolutely great. And I see the enthusiasm not only when I'm talking to Chris or he's on this show or No Vacancy with Glenn Hausman, but in social media posts, you could read between the lines. There's a lot of enthusiasm. There's a lot of culture there. There's a lot of caring about all the associates, from the doorman to the CEO. And I think that that servant leadership role is critical right now. And I think Chris is one of the best cases, just like Tom Gecko over at Davidson Hotels.
Mm-hmm.
They started out as hourly employees and worked themselves up to these, C-suite positions. They've built a career. And I've always said that hospitality is a great place to build a career. You can go as far as you
Mm-hmm.
want to go. So could we possibly be seeing a shift in the hospitality work schedule paradigm? Is that even possible at this point?
That's a great question. I think it's imperative that there is changes in the way the hospitality operations schedules run. I think a lot of hospitality people that were furloughed during the pandemic realized what it was like to be at home with their family. And those that worked through the pandemic, I think a lot of them suffered burnout. And I believe that the best way to do that would be to add another manager, try to do 4 10-hour shifts. I know I'm talking crazy in that business. Maybe do 5 8-hour shifts. But I think the health and wellness of the employee, especially the managers who are salaried and expected to work more than the hours that they're probably paid for, I think that there needs to be a focus on that wellness of that particular role.
I couldn't agree more with you. And I heard a staggering number the other day, and I don't know if you can confirm this or not, but 80% of the AGMs are gone. The retention there is non-existent. And what are some of the things that employers are giving you the green light to mention? It's got to be more than just money. Okay, money's part of it, but what else are they doing to make a position attractive and to have that retention for the long term? I just, very concerned, because I think part of the problem is we didn't do a good job at recruiting, even via the hotel schools from Cornell to Collins and everything in between. And I think that's part of it. I think we've had people go through a second cycle now where, we had the financial meltdown and now we had a global pandemic. And we're always the first one, we're the canary in the coal mine. We crash and burn first, and then, we recover first. So what are some of the things that are being offered now?
I know they've gotten a little bit healthier with their bonus and incentive plans. But again, I don't think that the paradigm has shifted yet. I still think some of the companies are still trying to maybe lowball the salaries a little bit because they don't understand that it is a candidate's market. Some are raising the salary a little bit, especially here in California. But I think that some of them are trying with like the bonus and incentive plans. They're adding PTO, but still, I don't think the paradigm has shifted yet, which is what needs to happen, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. David, thank you for joining us today. We are out of time. How can people get a hold of you? How about a shameless plug for you and Gecko Hospitality, please?
Well, I'll tell you, Craig, that went really fast, and thank you so much. But reaching me is my email would be david@geckohospitality.com. You can go on the Gecko Hospitality website and you can see all of our national recruiters as well. But right here in California, it would be me and my partner, Charbel Atala. But we are here and we are ready to serve, as you said, as servant leaders.
Thank you, my friend. And David, you've got an open invitation to come back anytime you'd like to.
Thank you very much.
Anytime, my friend. I would also like to thank our production partners, Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Title National Commercial Services Group, for being our production partners and making this show possible, along with you, our audience. And if you would like to be on the show, if you've got a guest that you'd like to see on the show, if you want to be a production partner, DM producer Danny and myself, whatever you want to do. And guess what? We've got CLIC 5 live and in person coming up. Danny's pushed the button. We got to scroll down at the bottom of the screen with our website and a promo code for you. So this time I'm going to give it to you. It's CLIC, all uppercase, 5. So CLIC 5. That'll save you 20%. That does go away in early August. So register now. And thank you for joining us today and being a part of this journey. I would also ask you to please subscribe and smash the bell on our YouTube channel so you can follow us there. All episodes drop there first. Then they make it out to the rest of our social media platforms, including LinkedIn, of course. So you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. And remember, be kind, share your knowledge. Now go be amazing.